So these ginger snaps are almost too good to be true, but they are. They have no butter and no oil. So I'm excited to get started to show you how to make these. So first, in a mixing bowl, we're gonna add 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 1/2 cup of applesauce. I love to use these little cups of applesauce. They're already measured out to 4 ounces, so it's perfect. Then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of molasses. And we're gonna mix that up with a spoon before we add everything else. Then finally, to the wet mixture, we're also gonna add 1/4 cup of non-fat vanilla Greek yogurt. Then we're gonna give that just another quick stir. We're gonna set this aside and move on to some dry ingredients. So to the flour, we're gonna add 1½ teaspoons of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, just 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Like I've said before, cloves are pretty potent to me, so I have to just watch that amount, and I start with as small amount as possible. And finally, 1¼ teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to give all of that a little stir with a spoon, and then we're going to add that to the wet ingredients. And we're going to gradually add this to the wet ingredients using in the mixing bowl as it's mixing until everything's incorporated. So I'm basically going to use a small cup and add just a little bit at a time until everything's incorporated. My favorite cookies. My husband loves these too. Can't get enough of them. You can see how amazing that's looking. Now all we have to do is put this in the refrigerator for 2 hours to chill. What we're going to do is put some white sugar on a plate, enough to roll your cookies in. You can always put more later. Probably about 1/2 cup will work. Each cookie is only going to be 1 inch in diameter. And we're going to put these on a non-stick baking cookie sheet. Because of that sugar on there, they should come off without any problem. You can use parchment paper if you want. I don't think it's necessary. I guess it wouldn't hurt. Now you can go ahead before you start doing this and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Mine preheats pretty quickly, so I like to wait till right before I'm ready to put them in. And these are the perfect cookie for get-togethers or for any Christmas cookie exchange coming up in December. You can have these anytime. I think they're great for the fall. I think I might have made a couple of mine a little bit too big, but that's okay. So these are going to make about a little over 2 dozen bigger cookies or 3 dozen smaller ones. So if you stick with the 1 inch diameter, you're going to end up with about 36. If you make them a little larger, you're going to end up with a few less than that, which is fine. If you like a bigger cookie, go for it. So now all we have to do is pop these cookies into the oven at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. Let's see how these beauties look while they're baking. They're almost done. About 1 minute left. Fresh out of the oven. You can touch the tops. They are definitely set. 10 minutes was the perfect amount of time. They come off this pan very easily as well. We're going to put these on the cooling rack. Any longer, they probably would have burned a little. But that was perfect timing. You can see how the center is nice and moist. And these are absolutely guiltless too. Thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to subscribe, where I'm going to use these homemade ginger snaps in my skillet apple cobbler with a ginger snap crumble.